All right, guys, let's do a recap for today's trade. So as you can see here, it's on replay mode. Ignore these boxes because these were posted during the trading hour, but you'll see why it was put up there. So there is two directions, okay? These blue lines over here would be your entry one to go down to the target. Now, if this doesn't work out, and if it starts to go up high, we have our entry two that we can snipe from the top to go down to the target. Another thing is we have an open gap over here. So when the algo said the downside for today, I did have a little more confidence because gaps usually always fill. So that is on our side. Now I'm going to have this pop up so you can see here at 9:37 a.m. Entry 2 is here with the resistance level overlap. So you can see it's time stamped. It's in the Discord. It's over here. That is the setup. So let's get this chart going. All right. As you can see, super choppy morning. Let me zoom in. And finally, we get our target hit. Now, here's the issue. We've already chopped all morning long to get to the target, but not to the gap fill. And the fact that we're so close to the gap, it has to come at one point. So why wouldn't it come here? And that's what happened. It started to go up. So I told members that we have our entry 2 up here. So let me just remove this arrow. Whoops. All right. And all right. So the more higher we go up, the better it is for us to get a discount on our contracts. And we can also add more size to the position. So an early play is not going to pay as much as a later on play. You're going to get a big discount up here than you would down here. I don't panic when I see the price action go away from the target. If anything, I'm like, I'm going to buy a shitload more contracts. Like, this is better for me. My wins are going to be bigger now. And it's got a longer way down to the target. So it starts to go up. All right. Now this is where the boxes come into play. So later on in the chat room, I'll have all these boxes labeled. Confirmation is first to break or to have the 3-minute and the 5-minute as a resistance. This 15-minute needs to break. Once it breaks, it'll be turned into another resistance, and that can give us a potential head and shoulders play. So let me just make that so it just visually looks better. So just something like this pretty much was, whoops, the play. Now I'll have this pop up right here. So as you can see on the commentary, new setup. First, the 15 box needs to break and flip from green to orange. Second, I want to see either the 5-minute or 3-minute hold, the drop. So I do want to see a drop and a bounce. Third, I want the 15-minute orange to reject the bounce afterwards. This should make you head and shoulders. So looking back here, we are now rejecting. There's your drop, okay? So that box, that 15-minute box, is when it should have had its flip. So this 5-minute here, so it bounced from the 5 and the 3-minute here, right? Got rejected from this 5-minute. And now we have confirmation that this 15-minute is an orange box, which is resistance. So from here on, you don't even have to worry anymore. You're going to get the target hit. And then, boom, target tapped. Okay, so the target tapped again. But like I said this morning, we have a gap to fill. We didn't just work all morning long to get this low and not get the gap fill. Of course, there's going to be some kind of fuckery to not get paid as much. And that's just the game. Sometimes it's just going to be huge wins. Sometimes the wins are going to be a more, or not the wins, sorry, the profits are going to be more choppy. So now this is your potential rejection off these boxes. Again, rejecting. And that's it. Boom. We got the whole gap fill. Not the cleanest head and shoulders, but this is your shoulder, this is your head, and this could be your shoulder. It's obviously not going to be the most textbook head and shoulders, but it's good enough. We got the gap fill. Easy done. I would have not, like, going long today was fine, but it wasn't going to pay as much as a drop down because of what time options were trading at and the volatility that we had candles going down. Also, the gap fill did kind of help to hold on to this position. I feel like if we didn't have a gap fill, we would have just sold early at the target and then call it a day. But the gap fill had to come no matter what. The target was just way too close to the gap fill, and it just had to be done. So that's pretty much how we traded with the algo today. Algo said downside. We played both setups. Entry 1 down, entry 2 down, and we finally got our gap fill. So that's it for today, guys.